Hi there, my name is MRJJA from the MRJJA Academy, and this week we're going to cover some basic concepts about shadow boxing. So the first thing I need to know about shadow boxing is that every fighter should shadow box. But if you are shadow boxing without the proper preparation or the proper mindset, you're really just repeating mistakes and you're making them more and more natural. So you got to be careful when you shadow box. It's usually a good idea to have some sort of supervision there, a coach watching you everything, so he can correct your mistakes. Otherwise, you're going to be doing the same things over and over again, and instead of being beneficial, it's going to be detrimental to your game. So the first thing in shadow boxing is to get used to your stance and footwork. So that's the most important part before you get into punching, throwing strikes, or simulating, other things in MMA. You got to make sure that you develop your footwork, and shadow boxing is by far the best tool for footwork. What I want to do is always make sure that my base is wider than my hips. I cannot really throw, especially for MMA, I cannot really throw good strikes when my base is too narrow. So once I get to my base here, I'm boxing right-handed. Just imagine you have a pair of pistols here, and you don't want to shoot your own feet. So at any given time, you don't want your foot to be in the line of fire of those pistols. And that's a very common thing that happens is that people are shadow boxing and they start getting lazy with their footwork and they move forward in this type of movement. So, or even more common, they move backwards, they bring their feet close together and then they take a step back. When all it should be is short and choppy steps. So we're moving here, it's short, everything is short and choppy, I'm cutting the angle, short and choppy. So it's a good idea just to get into the ring and just warm up. Keep your hands down. Don't think about anything but footwork. So get your footwork in there, or maybe add a little head movement, everything, but you're circling, lighten your feet. Especially important for MMA. When you're kicking a lot, you're blocking the takedowns. A little bit different stance than boxing. A little less sideways. Okay? Second thing I want to do is implement good head movement. So you always see a lot of people trying to slip the punches and recover that like that, or bob and weave like this. Well, that's not a good idea. Shadow boxing is a great avenue for you to properly learn how to slip a punch. So having a mirror is not a necessity by any means, and we're going to go into problems of shadow boxing. Looking at the mirror and staring at yourself for too long is definitely a problem. So you don't want to use the mirror to, start pumping yourself up about how good you're looking when you're throwing punches. It's just a way to correct your form. Not having a mirror, same thing. As long as you're conscious of your form, you're going to be a right mirror or not. But, having a mirror helps with the head movement because you can slip and imagine the punches, incoming punches, and you can keep an idea of where your head is in comparison to your body. You always want your head to be inside your base, so if at any given time my head is outside the base, that means I cannot block, cannot stop the takedown, I definitely cannot kick. So I'm out of position, and that's not good. So I always want to be able to have my head in between my base so that I can fire powerful strikes. Otherwise, if you're trying to fire a punch like this, like I always compare it to firing a cannon from a canoe. It's not going to work. You're going to be very unstable. You're going to have to take an extra step. Out of position, you can get hit hard or taken down. So head movement, just working your slips. You're slipping, and you're bobbing and weaving. But everything that you do is relaxed. Your hands are up, and you're keeping that head moving so that at any given time, your head is never in the same place. Always moving in 3 axes, up and down, front and back, left and right. Okay, once I got the head movement, keeping your hands up would be the next step. Make sure that your hands are always high, very common for people that start fighting like this. If you shadow box like this, you're definitely going to fight like that. You're tired, you're more tired, you've got heavier gloves. So make sure that your chin is down and your hands are up. When you throw the combinations, don't think power as much as think proper position. You see a lot of people making, and throwing it so hard that they have to take an extra step. Instead, just be relaxed in there. Okay, everything is light, relaxed, you're exhaling, you're doing the proper things. So remember, shadow boxing is about correcting your mistakes and working in your form. It is not about checking yourself out in the mirror, showing off to the girlfriend or friends, or repeating the same mistakes over and over again. If you're shadow boxing, you're doing this, and you're bringing your head up every single jab instead of keeping that head down, guess what? When it comes to fight time, you're going to repeat that. So have a friend, former fighter, or your coach correcting while you do it. Alright, thanks a lot for watching. You can check us out at www.mrjja.com or www.minnesotammanews.com.